1995 with a $30 million deal on the table. It's big.
So this is what it came down to. At the time, you had Tony Draper.
Yeah, Suave
House. And then, Bone was just taking off. Mm-hmm. They were doing all this stuff. So the Sony deal had Tony Draper on the table and Street Flavor on the table. And at the time, Tony Draper had more sound scans, and that's who.
Yeah, he had 8-Ball and MJG at this time.
So, and that started taking off, just like right at the right time, and then that's who they went with.
Raise your glass and let's cheers to this. I know that I can do better. Selling bricks and the pebbles, going back and forth with God and the devil. Now I gotta do better. Just go up another level.
Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Lano XL, Mr. 18 Pockets.
And yo, what's up, family? It's me, Mr. McGee, a.k.a. Born Rich, a.k.a. Boopy, and Lano.
God dang.
I got a lot of AKAs.
You got a lot of AKAs, bro.
Yeah, man. How you feeling, bro?
Listen, today I feel amazing. You hear my voice a little bit. So I was hosting last night. Homecoming weekend 2025. This has probably been my best.
Oh, you bougie.
Yeah, this has been my best homecoming ever.
Oh, you bougie.
Booked, busy, and we worked yesterday. So interviews.
Yeah.
But I feel good though. Guess why I feel good?
Tell the people who invite you to host, why won't they invite me to host? I like to host too.
Well, they don't.
I can say, hey, salute to the birthday girl, Miss Kayla in the building. I can say that shit.
Well, I got a good personality, Boopy. You kind of mean.
I'm hating. Fuck that. Cruz, I'm hating, man.
Well, it's okay.
Shout out to everybody who enjoyed my brother's hosting. Shout out to the people who invited him to host. And man, last but not least, man, shout out to my brother Cruz, man. We wouldn't be able to do this shit right here, right now.
Yes, this
Cruz,
is a live
it's
exclusive.
Nice.
This is very bougie and very nice, very Hollywood.
Nice in here.
But today, what makes it more better, doing it with Cruz, right?
Yeah.
Is we have a legend in the building, right?
Oh,
we have somebody who has played a huge part in Nashville hip hop music scene culture.
Big facts.
We have someone that I can go back when I was a little child. I get to show my age right here.
But you calling him old. You're calling him old.
Well, I'm old too, though.
Okay, though.
Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm old. I'm old myself.
Yeah.
But I could go all the way back
when
I didn't know what local was in music, right? Yeah. And I just remember reading, because I'm a very great reader. I used to get CDs that my brother used to bring home. And I also do what you said off camera. I used to read them off the back.
You read the credits.
And then it say Street Flavor, and then it say Nashville, Tennessee.
He used to put his number.
Yes. So we have a hero, a local guru that most definitely paved the way for hip hop in Nashville, Tennessee. We have SONNY PARADISE live in the building.
Man, come on, man. Street Flavor's on, man.
Street Flavor. I want to be signed to Street Flavor.
Yeah, you
and I ain't even rap.
Man, with the SF. Yeah. That big SF on the back of it.
Don't let me forget to tell you that why the SF exists.
No, get into it
now. Let's go now.
Let's get into it now.
So, my dad, I told you my dad was in prison.
Oh, man.
I won't get into all this. So, Mafia, my dad, the whole thing, documentary shot, the whole thing. I got it, book, all that stuff. So, I came to Nashville when my dad got out of jail. So, my real name is Sonny Formato.
Have you ever been to Nashville? I'm sorry for stopping you. Have you ever been to Nashville before?
In my brain, the only thing I knew about country music or Nashville was like Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton.
Oh.
I knew nothing. I'm talking, I'm the typical Jersey Shore Goomba kid at that time. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, total. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought I was gonna come off the airplane and there was gonna be tumbleweeds or something. I had no idea.
So
like,
Sonny,
no, seriously, like when you're from like you don't.
No, most definitely.
I was so young at the time. I hadn't really been anywhere but New Jersey, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Nashville's not highlighted up there like that.
At that time, it was just really just some country music.
And you said your name is Sonny Garcetti? Like what was that?
So my real name is actually Lorenzo Formato.
Okay.
And my nickname is Sonny.
You're a real mafia, mafia type guy,
So when I got to Nashville and I was like, we thought about music. I was thinking about doing music. I wanted to have a label. I wanted the label to have my initials. SF Sonny Formato, Street Flavor.
Oh.
So that's where I got the SF from.
Sonny Fumato.
Yeah.
That's dope, though.
And
Forget
Paradise,
about it.
And Paradise,
Forget about it.
Paradise was our first management company.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Paradise and Sonny Paradise, and that's my name, and that was the whole thing at the time. So, you know, that's where we got all that from.
No, that's dope. That's dope, Sonny. And I like what you said. You came from Jersey. You originally from Jersey.
Yeah.
Jersey Shore, and
Yeah.
you come to Nashville. I mean, what was the reason for
My dad getting out of
move out
jail?
of prison.
Nashville was a music place. My dad was kind of in music at the time. You know, not at the time he was in jail, but prior to that, he was trying to get back in the music business.
Okay.
And so that was originally we were going to go to Atlanta.
Okay.
And then my dad at the last minute switched it up, and it was kind of a good decision.
A
because
great decision.
It gave us the ability to be to do some things in Nashville, because Nashville was definitely not popping like Atlanta at the time. Actually, Atlanta wasn't even popping then.
So
really.
when you come here, right?
Yeah.
And quick decision is made, you're gonna stay in Nashville, right?
Yeah.
Is this already in your mind? Are you already saying once that quick decision happened, it's like, okay, I'm gonna do Southern hip hop.
there was nothing else I really knew, other than rap music. I grew up in that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And,
like you said,
rap music started on the East Coast. You know, I'm talking back this late. I'm 53, so the 70s, dude. Like this is, you know. So I was already like entrenched in hip hop. I was the breakdance kid. I was just in it.
Oh yeah, you most definitely in hip hop.
Sonny,
just
you
in
was breakdancing, bro. You talking
I
about
know,
cardboard,
I'm
cardboard
talking
on the street.
I'm talking parachute pants. I'm talking windbreakers. The whole fucking shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
What
that
was your parents saying though? Like, I mean, let's be honest,
didn't
bro.
care. I mean,
white Italian kid,
my
bro.
dad
fucking
was
breakdancing in New Jersey.
My dad went to jail for stock manipulation. My dad was my dad was the Wolf of Wall Street before that shit ever even existed.
Okay.
But my dad's case was one of the first, because his case was the first securities case that ever was attached to organized crime. So his case was really big, and it set a lot of precedents. But at the time, he had taken over a rap group at the time from a guy that went bad in a stock deal, and that rap group was Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five.
Oh,
Whoa,
big deal, big deal.
So I was in the studio when I was 13, you know, doing backup, yelling and chanting on Grandmaster Flash records and hanging with Melly Mel and Grandmaster Flash and shit.
Oh, that's big.
Funny story is, like, you know, I was always Italian kids, black kids, we just always hung out. And I was telling them about this, and they were like, "Yeah, right, man. You don't fucking know Grandmaster Flash."
Yeah.
Well, one day, my dad was with him, and they came into our house, and I dragged Flash down the street
Off the top.
Off
the top.
to make sure that every dude who dissed me met him that
Met-
day.
yes,
and they
most
all
definitely.
shit their pants, dude. It was one of the greater moments.
Oh, Sonny's not
I was
lying.
so young. Check this out. I was so young, he was holding my hand.
Oh shit.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Are you like, nah, come on.
Yeah, like I'm like, no, I'm dragging him. But so that was like a really cool moment. But so I was in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was, my dad didn't have any clue about any of this shit. He was like, you know who Grandmaster Flash is? I'm like, what? Yeah, I mean, who does? You know what I mean? Like, so
that's always been as times like this, right? When you're saying young, you got to carry him down this street.
Yeah.
And your dad obviously doesn't really know who Melly Mel and
he
Grandmaster
did
Flash
eventually,
is.
but he didn't know at the time.
But you do.
But I did. I was already
come
into
up.
hip hop at
Yeah,
the time.
for sure.
My dad would turn to me and ask me what was cool, just like I do with my kids now. Like, hey, yeah.
So what Lano is asking you, man? Let's get into
just get
Nashville.
Let's dive into it.
hip hop, bro.
Yes.
Your first experience with Nashville hip hop. What does that look like?
So my
Who
dad
was
wanted
it?
to do country music.
Okay.
Like I said, we had this studio in Berry Hill, and we were kind of working out a deal with the guy who owned it. He was trying to get out of the music business. We were just kind of getting into it, so we were kind of like sharing the space. We put out an ad in the Nashville scene looking for an engineer, and that's how I found DJ Dev, Kevin Grisham.
Because that Instagram, you can't just
Yeah, you know,
fucking
Instagram,
that.
And he answered that, and it was really through Kevin, who was already kind of making some beats with some people, and kind of, you know, he was kind of doing some stuff in his room, and he knew some rappers, you know. So Kevin kind of connected me a little bit to any of
Most
the
definitely.
local scene, and that's how Pistol came in as a demo deal. Pistol came to rent the studio, basically.
Yeah, just to record.
Yeah, just to record. It wasn't really anything. And through that process, it turned into us saying, hey, why don't we take this record? Why don't we release this album? turn it in, finish it up, make it into
That's
an
your
album.
decision?
Yeah. Whose idea? Hold on. I like where Lano is going, bro. Whose idea was that?
That was our decision.
Yours.
Was
so
mine.
did you have to speak it up with Dev?
Did I what?
Did you have to
Did you have to talk that over?
No. Kevin at the time was really just kind of like coming to us at the time. He was brand new. Like he wasn't involved with any decision making or anything like that.
Because I want to, because I love music, right? So you in the studio, guys book the studio, which at this time is Pistol one of the first rappers that come and book the studio.
Yeah, so funny stories. And I tell you, when I say I was green, I was dumb. I didn't know nothing. I was only 19.
Okay, yeah, like you
So,
tell me, fresh out of high
I had
school.
this, those screens you get at school that you pull down?
Like the
Like
projector screen?
yeah. So I got one of
yeah.
those. I got one of those. I got this dude to paint me this star looking thing on there. And I was like, I was giving away some money to have artists come in front of the screen, me videotape them rapping so I could pick who it was. I never got very far with that. But there was some rappers coming through, but then Pistol was the first serious rapper, really.
That's what I was getting to, yeah.
Yeah, Chris King came first, though.
Yeah,
He was there
let's
first.
talk about
And
it.
he was dope. I just don't think he was too far ahead, like mentally, I think. And I wasn't in a position to help him the way I could at that time. It was too new at that time.
Yeah.
And he was too smart and probably too good for me at the time.
So at that time, like you said with Chris Kite, but when
Not to say that Pistol wasn't, but Pistol came with, he had Pete's backing. You know what I'm saying? He didn't just come alone. He had some beats done already. The responsibility.
he was already structured right.
Yeah, he had some stuff going already. So for us to get involved with it, I didn't have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
I had a little bit to start with. And but once we made that decision, to do that, I had this old radio promoter. His name was Mike Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
And he was doing country promotion, but he was from the 50s and the 60s. Because back then you used to have to call radio stations on their call days and convince them to play convince you to play their records. Yeah. So they had call days, and one day, these guys, they would smoke one cigarette after another. And he's like, you know what you need? And I was like, what? He's like, you need distribution. And I'm like, what's that? I didn't even know what distribution was.
Yeah.
You just coming in and just you just
yeah,
going with the
I'm
flow.
off learn.
No, he's
learn as you go. Learn as you go.
Yeah.
He said, you know what you need? You need to go down to Memphis and talk to them Phillips boys and see if you can get distribution. And I'm like, okay. So I had my dad take me down there, to Memphis. I met with Sam Phillips and Johnny Phillips, telling them about what we're doing in these records, and they did. And that was kind of how you.
They gave you distribution?
Yeah. Dude, they were probably thinking, who the fuck is this kid?
Yeah, most definitely.
I don't want to go
this
too
Yankee
far.
But you're
kid.
fresh too. Like, even though
Yeah.
you're a kid, right? Like, you're a kid, but
I was excited.
Yeah, in my mind, the Sonny that I'm seeing as a kid to build this is you already got confidence. You already like coming in
It may look like confidence, but I could assure you, I shit my pants through
You
90%.
nervous as fuck.
Everything I did in the music business, it was always feast or famine.
Yeah.
I was always
Exactly.
I was between
Exactly.
nothing and everything 99% of the time.
Yeah.
And and not being from here, hell, I couldn't even understand half the people when I came down.
Yeah, especially how we talk. Very
Yeah.
southern slang, right?
I did a record with Gangsta Black one time, and he got so mad that I couldn't understand that he threw the headphones down, like, yeah, I don't talk like y'all. Like, I couldn't understand. He's from
Y'all.
Memphis.
Yeah, for sure.
So a kid from New Jersey, I hadn't gotten programmed yet, so I was just getting the
You're
lingo.
learning as you go.
Dude, I didn't dress like anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't I just was total square peg.
So I want to ask you
anyway,
this.
so back to that.
I'm
So
sorry,
Pistol,
go.
the distribution.
Yeah. What record did you hear? Like, that's what I want to get into. What record did you hear from Pistol to make you make that decision to say, hey, why don't we just put it out?
Big Dope Dealer.
Okay.
I thought that was the best, the strongest song on that album.
Let me ask you this, man. As a Italian guy from fucking
Yeah.
New Jersey,
Yeah.
how does Big Dope Dealer resonate with you?
I loved Ghetto Boys at the time.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff. NWA was already,
Most definitely.
So like I was familiar with some Southern rap stuff. I mean, I think Ghetto Boys was a total.
Yeah,
Like the
Game
first
Changer.
gangster
early
rap
stuff.
second
Yeah,
rap
yeah.
group.
Yeah.
But they had two versions. They had one that was real early on. Call Me the Gangster Love.
Mm-hmm.
That actually had the actual sample from in it, but then they changed it. So I'm talking about like way before.
Yeah, most definitely.
So I was kind of into it. but I was way into rap music.
So Big Dope Deal, you heard
that was the song, and then I was just like, we should do that. But you know, when I got to Nashville, I wanted to be like Russell Simmons. Like I was more into,
I was gonna ask you who was your inspiration.
Yeah, like I was more
design.
into being a record guy.
Yeah,
like I wanted to be behind the scenes. I didn't give a shit who knew me. I didn't try to like get out there in front of nothing.
Yeah,
like,
you want Puff Daddy.
I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to be.
Let's don't call him Puff Daddy. You know? Come on, guys. We can't call him Puff Daddy.
But you know, also I was in a band when I was a kid. I sang a little bit. I knew how to make music. I had a little bit of something that I think Nashville didn't have.
Most definitely.
Which was like I brought a little bit of maybe a commercial outlook.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't just about making street records. I wanted,
because that's what we was doing at that time when you was around. There's a bunch of street records that was coming around.
Right. But it was like promotion. So like when I was a kid in New Jersey, they'd have this thing called K-Tel Records. K-Tel Records, and these commercials would come on every 10 minutes. And they'd have the 12-inch vinyl and like a cassette sitting on like velvet.
Yeah,
and it'd be like the hits of the 50s, and for $2 more.
Oh yeah, I know it. Yeah.
For $2 more,
commercials like that. Yeah,
and for $2 more, you'll get the hits of the 60s. You know, so when I started to market and promote Pistol, I remembered all those commercials.
Yeah,
so I took the cassette and the CD and did the exact same thing.
Hold on, Sonny.
That's dope.
No,
and
fuck that.
And I went to
Sonny, you did not do.
Yes, I did.
Rolling in my 6'4", gangster lean.
Yep.
Hits of the
velvet.
50.
Yeah.
And if you spend $2 more, you can get Riding with My Niggas.
Yeah. And I was with this hot ass girl who worked at the TV station.
Okay.
And she helped me get all these like cheap rotator buys. But what I did was, I think in '93, I think the biggest show was maybe Martin or Arsenio Hall.
Yo,
Right? It just started popping off.
Okay.
So what I would do is I would buy commercials, local commercials during the Final Four. Basketball, Arsenio Hall, later on Martin and Living Color and stuff like that. So when you saw a Street Flavor commercial, you thought it was
worldwide,
just like everywhere.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know what I mean?
I would. I would.
Because it'd be like a Pepsi commercial, and then there'd be Street Flavor.
Yeah.
You know, so I kind of took that marketing idea and, you know, all that stuff. So, you know, the street promotion was more like, you know, Pete and them were basically running the streets in Nashville at that time. So as far as like street credibility, like
most definitely, because Pete was a
I tripped into that.
Somebody who
Jesse Belser, he got killed, and it was sad. But
rest in peace to the brother.
Yeah, and so you know we had a
street
lot
credibility with him was.
Yeah, I had a good spark, like as far as like a street. Now, see, no one thought I was street. You know, I was kind of like a nerd, kind of in a way, like. But that helped us with marketing and promotion. At that time, we had, you know, young John Smith, young Kevin Robinson, young Pete, everybody. So everybody.
I know.
John Smith still going out here, y'all. Let me ask you this though, because I hear you say you invested in marketing, street team, all of that. You keep saying money. What was your money?
No money.
What was your money coming in? How was you getting this done?
So I came back from Memphis with Selecta Hits, and we're sitting in this little office we had rented, right? And we had a fax machine, and the fax machine goes off, and it's like, you know, back then it's like, you know, and this paper starts coming up, and I'm looking at the piece of paper, and it's an order for 5,000 copies of Hitting Like a Bullet. So we got some money right after, because they went in and we had pressed up a few CDs. So we had some in New Life. We had some around. Yeah. So when we left Selecta Hits and they kind of called around a little bit, they're like, oh yeah, you know, we know what that is. They gave us an order. So that order gave us some money to do some marketing stuff with. That's where that came from.
What's the order?
5,000 copies.
The 5,000 copies of Pistol Hitting Like a Bullet.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, and that was the first, like, you know, 5,000 copies back then.
Was a lot.
You get paid on wholesale. You get paid like $4 a cassette, $6 a CD or something. So 5,000 copies. If you get that whole order, that's 30 grand.
Yeah.
In the 90s, you know. But of course, we take that money. We pressed up 5,000 more CDs.
Most definitely. Just keep it.
Yeah. Funny story about that is that was right when they were changing the explicit lyric laws.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any of that on either.
You didn't have to put those on it. Yeah.
So I had to order 5,000 explicit stickers
with the
and I had a
parental
sticker,
advisory.
Yeah.
each one on there.
That's a
one at a
highlight
time.
timeline. Oh, you
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah.
So anyway, that was a funny story. So that's kind of how Pistol started getting going. And, you know, despite what anybody says, I thought Pistol was dope. I thought everything about what he did was dope. I thought he was...
Pistol was like my first gangster rapper from Nashville. Because I'm pretty sure there's other gangster rappers, but I didn't hear those people. I heard King P, right?
Yeah, King.
How did you? Okay, 5,000 orders, Selecto hits.
That started going.
You guys are on the road,
we
right?
We started getting going. We had the street teams in place.
How do Easy E come into play?
Sitting at the office one day, he called the office.
And he called the office?
Caught us all off guard. He just called the office. And we're like, first we're like, yeah, right. This ain't Easy, blah, blah, blah. And it was him. And he just started grilling us right away. Like, hey, what's this sample? What's this? What's, because you had to clear all these samples back then. And clearly I had no idea. Like I was just winging this whole phone. Like I was.
If he's just talking about Pistol, or he just
Pistol for sure. He knew that it was jumping a little bit. He knew that it was getting orders. He knew that it was starting to. Back then, SoundScan was just coming into be. So they were able to check certain things, and of course, when they called around in New Life and places, they're like, "Yes, this thing is selling like hotcakes." It's hot on the street. So we set up a meeting, went out to California, made the deal, and no one made that deal, by the way, but me.
Hold on.
Not John Smith. None of them people had anything to do with this deal. But me.
Yeah, we getting an exclusive.
Hey, I want to get to it though. Like
the story. I don't know who takes my credit. I just never got out in front of it. But
so most definitely, when you guys fly out to LA for the meeting,
ever even met him. Nobody met him.
I want to hear this though.
Nobody.
Hold on. But I want you to pretty much sit us down at this. You fly out to California.
Met with Jerry Heller.
You meet with Jerry Heller and Easy.
Yep.
Talk to me. Let me know. What does it look like?
Quick. He was in Hello Goodbye because he was buying a studio.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm buying another studio. I'm out. Really,
what year is this?
1993.
Okay. Dang.
So
11 years old. Okay.
Yeah, and I was young too.
10 years old for me.
Yeah. So I met with Jerry. We did the whole deal, and that was it. It wasn't a big deal,
but
it was pretty big for me at the time. It was
most definitely.
And Ruthless was like, and Easy was. The biggest.
I mean,
the parameters though, right? Because let me break this down though. If Pistol is signed to Street Flavor, how does Jerry Heller?
It's a co-label deal, is what it was. Yeah. It was Street Flavor, Ruthless joint venture. It wasn't just Ruthless. It was us.
Yeah, because I saw both your names on the Hit Like a Bullet.
We just basically did a co-label deal, and they just basically took over the distribution and the marketing, and it just stayed Street Flavor, Ruthless.
Okay, I want to talk to you about this now. Okay, because we said something off camera.
And then, of course, Easy died.
While you in here negotiating a deal with Pistol.
There wasn't a lot of negotiating. They pretty much offered it, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know much.
But at this time, you also... That's me and him. Okay.
But you know what? It was a really fair and good offer right out of the gate.
Okay, so it wasn't like...
It wasn't like I had to go back and forth and stuff like that.
$100,000.
Because now the stories that we hear, Jerry Heller, of course, and
Easy. And I stayed friends with Jerry for a while after that.
Okay.
And that's how Boogie got his
That's
deal.
what I was about to ask. How at this time first, before you get into it, was Boogie already signed to you guys while
Boogie
you're
was
doing
already
Pistol?
doing music with us, yes. But he came after Pistol.
Okay.
Actually, a good moment after.
We know that, but we want to know like signed because I know as signed.
Pistol was signed first.
Okay.
Then Boogie.
Okay, so Boogie was
But Boogie
signed.
was around because and it wasn't that I didn't like Boogie. It's just that I'm always in panic mode. How am I going to keep this ship going?
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how am I going to make sure? You got to remember, Pistol's older than me.
Yeah. Yes.
You see what I'm saying? These guys didn't really respect me because I was their age.
Yeah.
I didn't have a whole lot of
I like this.
I didn't have a whole lot of experience behind me. I was winging it the best I could. You know what I'm saying? Minimal money, a lot of personalities dealing with rappers and everything, and then being somebody that these guys would have to kind of not listen to, but I was leading the way. So
it's not like you're not paying attention to him.
And Boogie and Kevin were friends. I think Boogie and Kevin went to school together. And that was kind of his project. Like Kevin really was pushing for Boogie.
Okay.
And I was kind of letting him and Boogie kind of do their thing.
Do their thing.
You know, and so, But when I went to go see Ruthless Records again to talk about distribution, because where they screwed up on Hitting Like a Bullet was they took the record that we had already got jumping and then they dumped it right back into the same market again.
So they repackaged it.
Instead of like shipping it out everywhere to like LA and stuff. They're like, oh, we're gonna start marketing it right back there. I'm like, we already did it here. Like, you know,
this is the reason we got a call from you guys.
Yeah, so I went there and was dealing with them. And while I was there, one of their A&R reps, Cliff Clatreri, heard Shocked, which was the single. Yeah. Right. And so, and he's like, oh, I really love this. It reminds me of Snoop Dogg and stuff because Snoop had just came out. So we did a deal with Boogie right there. We went up to New York and Relativity, who was Ruthless's distributor. Basically, that's how Boogie got a deal. Was off of that meeting talking about distribution on Pistol's album.
At this time, hip hop in Nashville, especially the ones that you're talking about, the Pistol, which is riding in my 6'4", right? And you in LA. Boogie Shock, because when you listen to Boogie first album, are these easily, can you say this with me? Are these easily West Coast influence records?
100%, because that's what was jumping.
Most definitely.
I mean, and the influence was so like, I mean, it's just like now it's no different. You know what I mean? People are kind of chasing trends a little bit, and they're just kind of, everybody wants to be cool, so they want to fall in line. You know what I mean? So at that time, I mean, NWA, everything going on the West Coast, that's what was jumping. I mean,
and Pistol kind of told us that in so many words.
Cool That Fresh also.
Cool
That Fresh
said
also
they had the West Coast. It was a big West Coast influence.
Yeah, and at the time there was really nowhere to go in Nashville. I mean, you know, in order to do anything, you had to either go to Atlanta, New York, LA.
Those three.
That's it.
Not even Texas?
I mean, Texas was just kind of coming
up.
Rap a lot,
similar now?
I mean, Rap a Lot and stuff was just kind of still. Everybody in the South was just coming up. I mean, even So Def really didn't have much anything. I mean, Outkast came after. You know what I'm saying? So
most definitely they came out like really, 94, 95.
Yeah, so Criss Cross, 93.
Yeah.
But that was real commercial.
Very commercial.
Crossover, hip hop, you know, Jermaine Dupri stuff. So, you know, I mean, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis were down there, but they were doing, you know,
Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson. That was big producers.
Scene yet.
So I ain't gonna, I mean, Sonny, I want to talk about like street. When I think of street flavor, of course, I think of all of those artists that we spoken about earlier. Man, but HAYSTAK.
Yeah, that came later. You
know, I know. I mean, I know that, and I know
because you're knocking them out the park at this time now, right?
I know.
Let me see if I can still stay in line. If you can. So Pistol, and then that started to take off. Then Boogie, So I got to tell you what happened. Okay. So 1995, Street Flavor's kind of like jumping. Got two major deals. You know what I'm saying? And again, I never, just to correct something too, I never wanted Pistol to be commercial. But I knew that if Pistol was going to be as big as Biggie or someone like that,
he was going to have
at least have a commercial single. Something that we could break out of just being a gangster rapper.
What single? What single were you thinking?
We didn't really have it. That was the whole thing. It wasn't that I didn't like Pistol. I thought Pistol was amazing. He was my favorite artist.
He just didn't have
a commercial single, and I didn't want him to be commercial, and I didn't sign Boogie. Or I was in love with Boogie because Boogie was commercial.
That's the kind of like...
Because Boogie wasn't commercial either. So I had this dude, Eddie Perez, that did house music up in New Jersey. I had him in town, and he's the one who kind of helped us kind of put this single Shock together. We had it, and it was real street and real whatever. And he's like, wait a second. And he grabbed this loop.
Hold on, Sonny. Hold on, Sonny. Bitches ain't shit. It's not commercial. If I make a song called "Bitches Ain't Shit," that's like, come on, bro.
I get. So for me, it was very difficult to convince the artist what I was trying to do.
Yeah, most definitely. I can see that.
It wasn't like I wanted them to be corny. I just needed something to work.
Because is this true? They all need a record to follow them, right?
Yeah.
Which is commercials of success, a record that we can play on the radio.
Well, take Snoop, for example, the biggest artist at that time.
Okay.
At least he had a single. You know what I mean? Like that no cursing. It's something that you could work, and it was commercially viable. Street, but viable.
Yeah.
You know, and Dre knew that better than anybody at the time. You know, you needed those records, which he probably learned with NWA, having no commercial, you know. So That's really what I was trying to do. And then Rude Awakening came right in. Rude Awakening and Boogie kind of happened at the same time.
Okay.
Rude Awakening is
a group. It's what like
It was
a group.
white group.
White group. Yeah.
T-Sean, Big
from
Mike.
Nashville?
Yeah, we had this song called "Falling." If you can hear me, help me.
How are you juggling this now?
I don't. But that's part of what I wanted to tell as the story too. Is that I didn't. I was winging everything.
Let me just keep saying winging it.
I was on the verge of
You winging pretty
collapse.
good then. 2 major label deals.
all the time. I was just on the verge of, I was in panic mode all the time. I was scraping, selling a watch, pawning something, trying to find a new piece of gear, trying to make everything a little bit better, finding a producer, or trying to make the sound better, or trying to do something better. And I think it was just pure determination. Really.
Did you have Papa J also?
Yeah. So Papa J is Boogie's older brother,
Yeah.
who I thought had an amazing voice, and that's when we did that, the 3 Hots in the Cot.
Yeah, 3 Hots in the Cot. I remember that.
Yeah, Manhunt was the first album, I think.
So what ended up happening with, okay.
So now I'm going to get to this part.
Yeah,
real quick.
let's go. Yeah,
So Rude
'cause
Awakening came out. I really loved it. So I basically had 2 more deals
It
on
was
the
3
table.
in Rude Awakening or 4?
There was 2.
2. Okay,
Right.
2.
So I had another deal on the table at the time with Sony, which was the deal that was going to set me off. It was
Put you in a powerhouse.
$30
now.
million deal. And in that deal,
This is what year it is?
this is 1995.
1995 with a $30 million deal on the table.
On the
It's
table.
big.
So this is what it came down to. At the time, you had Tony Draper,
Yeah, Suave House.
Suave House, and then Bone was just taking off. They were doing all this stuff. So the Sony deal had Tony Draper on the table and Street Flavor on the table. And at the time, Tony Draper had more sound scans, and that's who.
Yeah, he had 8-Ball and
and that's who they
MJG
went
at
with.
this
Yeah.
time.
So, and that started taking off, just like right at the right time, and then that's who they went with. And he probably had a little more swag or something than me. He probably
Yeah.
sold it better than me. I was still green a little bit, but I'm getting there now. I'm starting to get it. And then the Nashville scene, 1995, Sunday paper. I wake up. And doing my little thing. I was always up before everybody. I was never the dude, but it didn't
You the
matter.
CEO, Sonny. You
No
supposed
matter
to
how,
be.
how late we're in the studio, I'm up in my boxers at the desk at in the morning. But anyway, so I get up, I get my coffee, I go into the Mapco, I think, on Stewart's Ferry, right there, and I'm walking in. And I walk by the paper, and Sunday paper back then was always the real
Very
Yeah,
thick,
the
like
thick
a
one,
like
the
a
thick
Bible.
joint.
Yeah, like a Bible.
Like a Bible.
And I walk
good.
by and I catch it out of the side of my eye, and I grab my coffee, I come back again, and it's us on the fucking cover. So
When you say
Who
us,
is us? Yeah. Who is
me,
us?
my dad, and Street Flavor, they run this whole smear piece about my father
with his
in the Tennessean Sunday paper.
about his legal
About my
troubles?
dad's past
Yeah.
and everything else, which
Damn.
no one in Nashville really knew about, because at that time it wasn't like we were hiding it. All the people around us knew,
Yeah,
but,
the masses,
general public
the masses
didn't know.
Yeah.
My distributor didn't know.
Yeah.
At the time, I had a $250,000 credit line at Region Dodge in Rivergate. I could go in there and tell anybody, go get a car.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean?
That's what we need.
You was getting that big boy car.
So
Was you signing
so
artists and
Kevin
giving them
had a
cars?
car from Region Dodge. Kevin
Cadillac
had a car.
Records.
Kevin
Yeah.
had a car from Region Dodge. My dad had a car from Region Dodge. My lawyer had a car. Everybody
Yeah.
had a car from Region Dodge.
Oh, yeah.
So the newspaper hits, turns into this whole big thing. My distributor drops me. The CD plant that manufactured all our CDs dropped me.
Just off the
I was the first person out of Nashville to get canceled.
I can see.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Like it was a brutal canceling. So at the time,
Damn.
so I'm trying to think of the hotel.
Just by reading the paper.
Yeah, because it was where
Paper was the only media.
Yeah, it was up on publication for-
radio,
you
and,
know where the
paper.
government puts their trash kind of thing. Like they made it seem like these shitty ass mobster dudes like landed in Nashville.
Yeah.
and my
Because
dad-
that follows behind you a
It
lot.
follows.
But it
always
sounds
has.
like
And
it-
it is a shadow over
Yeah.
what, but now I probably could have parlayed it into some big money. It would have been cool. Everybody, would be, oh, it's the coolest shit ever.
Do you go in panic mode at this time?
Total panic. So what is that hotel right there where West End splits on the left? It's the Loft or something, or the
I don't know.
at the time
Nights in.
I had the whole entire floor up there
Okay.
at the time. And
Well, Sonny, you started to sound like you on the mob movement. Yeah.
so they started kicking us out. The whole thing, like it just was bad. My dad took off. He went to Florida. I had 2 twin sisters that were just born at the time. They had all troubles with school and the parents and all the friends they started to make.
Yeah.
So
because word is out now. Even if it's false, but word is out.
It wasn't false. You know, my dad was who my dad was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just nobody really knew it. So, and it just kind of ruined everything. And this was right as I was dropping Papa J and Rude Awakening. I had it set for both of those records to release at the same time.
Okay.
So they kind of caught, if anybody really got kind of, you want to say screwed,
Yeah.
it was them. And it wasn't us screwing them. It was the timing of it. It was really, really bad. I already had cassettes pressed up, CDs pressed up, T-shirts pressed up.
You was ready. You was ready to go.
We were ready to go.
Yeah.
I mean, have you heard from them? Like, have they ever
T-Shawn a little bit. I stayed friends with T-Shawn after
Yeah.
that and everything. And Boogie, I talked to
They
him
understood
every
anyway when they
Yeah,
come
but
back.
have they ever said,
the
Sonny
reason.
screwed me?
night. Not to me.
You
Yeah.
never heard that?
No.
Well, we'll get them on a podcast.
Yeah,
and they'll tell
I mean,
us.
they
They'll tell
could-
us
they
if
could
you
tell you
screwed
what-
Sonny. Like,
Nobody ever came out. Here's what I will say. Nobody ever came out of a situation with me worse than they went in.
Yeah.
Period.
I never really heard any. I never heard any. I never heard any.
we haven't.
Yeah.
Any bad, anything financially bad about Street Flavor.
Well, you know, we were an independent small rap label that was giving people advances, that was paying people money to make records. That was
Unheard of at this time,
at
right?
this time. So I'm not really sure what anybody really expected from me at the time, but fuck, it was more than anybody else was doing. So, and I always tell people it's about your intentions. My intentions were always
always
good.
pure.
Were always good with everything I ever did. Did it always work out? No, because in the music business, it's not on me. The record has to do something too.
Most definitely.
You know, if I drop a record and it flops, you can blame me all you want.
But actually, it's still
it was
gonna
at
be
the
you.
store and they knew it was there.
Yeah.
If they didn't go get it, it's not 100% on me. You know.
Well, I want to ask you this though, Sonny.
Yeah.
Like because I know you said you had Pistol and all of these artists, right? I did speak about HAYSTAK. Is
Yep.
anything you want to elaborate?
Yeah. So
about HAYSTAK?
Because Rude Awakening.
Rude Awakening, and that's how Stack came.
Stack came along with
because
you.
Stack was hanging around with Mike and T-Shawn.
Yeah.
And at that time, now I had took off to Florida for like right after the newspaper thing. I didn't know what we were gonna do. Street Flavor was, my life was over basically. I had nothing. We packed everything up in a U-Haul, and actually Rude Awakening helped drive the U-Haul
Damn,
down.
man. A
Where
piece
did
of paper
y'all
ran
go?
you out
Where
of
the
here.
fuck? Where did y'all go,
because
Sonny?
we didn't really know what to do. It was panic.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, not panic like we were scared of anybody. It was panic more like maybe it's over. You know,
Yeah.
Nashville,
We had our run.
Nashville kicked the Wops out of town. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it was like one of those kind of things.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you know, 'cause I
Who
got-
ran that? Who? If you don't mind me asking, can you remember who ran?
I don't remember
this
the
act?
guy who. So I'll tell you the funny story. The guy came into our offices one day, and on the premise of telling us he wanted to interview us and talk about Street Flavor.
Yeah.
And he came into my office, and my dad was. I had, like I said, I had the whole floor. My dad was running some stuff at the other end. So he's the guy sitting in front of me, and he's sweating. I mean, this dude was drenched.
The interviewer.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, you
From
cool,
the
dude?
Tennessee,
Like,
yeah.
you all right? Like, what's it going? You know, you need some water or
Yeah,
something. He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
And he puts 2 pictures on the desk, one of me and one of my dad when he was about my age, and we were kind of almost sitting in the same kind of position. And my dad kind of looks like me a little bit, and I was like, oh shit, this has nothing to. This dude's setting me up.
Yeah.
And then at the
Damn.
time, I had the little conference things. I'm like, hey, you might want to come back here. You know, my dad's like, what's going on? You know, I was like, come back. So that's what it was. It's a total smear piece. And then, you know, he's like, we're going to run this paper. Da, da, da. We tried to stop it. He
Yeah.
didn't stop it.
So you knew it was coming out.
I knew
You
it was
just couldn't
coming,
stop.
but I didn't know when
Journalist.
and I didn't know how.
So I want to ask you this right quick though, before we get into
That's
the
what
Rude
me and
Awakening and the
Lane are gonna
HAYSTAK.
do.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, right.
So that's what killed Street Flavor in 95. It was
Okay.
dead.
But
Kind of.
paper come out,
Yep.
distribution stops, right? But you guys got core fans.
Yeah, I'm not sure everybody really knew, but pretty much everybody knew. At the time, it was
Yeah.
like a big little like thing that went down in Nashville.
Do you ever think you jumped the gun too fast?
With what? Leaving?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, I should have turned it around into some fucking promotion.
Most
and
definitely.
did something with it and been like, fuck you.
Oh, you're right.
You know, I
could have made it like what Luke did.
Yeah, like, you know,
because Luke was getting by the government about what he was saying on the records, and he just flipped it. And
I should have took it as an opportunity to act like a victim almost in a way.
Eazy-E done it also.
Yeah.
Eazy-E also
with
done
all the
it.
gun law shit.
My thing is, so if this is 95, when does HAYSTAK?
I'm going to tell you.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
HAYSTAK
yeah.
started coming around Rude Awakening at that time at 94, 95. So, and then everything goes shit.
You pack up.
Not
You
sure
pack
what I'm
up,
going to do.
leave.
And in between that time, real quick, is Charlie in here?
Yeah, Charlie right here.
Oh, okay. Just make sure.
Nah,
Make sure
hear-
I don't jump too far on anything, Charlie.
Charlie.
He's like, all right.
Don't let me miss
And
that.
shout out, and listen, the camera can't see Charlie, but
yeah,
shout out to
shout
Charlie
out
because
Charlie,
listen,
man.
everybody that's elite to me, right? Charlie, it's like
the third
this is like
podcast,
Charlie's
Charlie
fault.
been
Like,
in the
listen, man,
background, man.
and I don't mean to stop this, but
Yeah.
Charlie is a fucking beast, right? Because over 4 elite people that come in here that
right.
sit right here,
Charlie
Sonny,
be in the background.
Charlie's right there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Charlie, man. And Charlie's supposed to sit down, but
Yeah.
he
We gonna
told
get him
me,
in front of
he
the
told
camera.
us he's coming. He's gonna come. So now,
So when everything went bad, you know, I left Florida and I'm like, I'm going back to Nashville. Right? I'm
Okay.
going to figure
how
out
long you stay in Florida before you made the decision?
5 months, 4 months.
You like, I'm
Yeah.
going back.
And you know, I was with this girl at the time, and her family was still in Nashville. I drug her with me, so she kind of helped pull me back. And I was homeless. I didn't have nothing. I had a shitty car. You know what I mean? Like I stayed with my girlfriend's parents.
No more line of credit at the Dodge.
Dude. But what I'm saying is like I was a defeated person. Like,
Yeah.
just, like I'm trying to get everybody's mind around like.
No, I
how
understand.
Yeah, we understand.
When
it.
you're here and then you're
Yeah,
boom like
yeah,
crap.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and
You
then
hit
now
rock
I'm trying
bottom.
I'm trying to figure it all out.
We done did that.
Yeah, this is
money,
rock bottom, right?
I'll tell you
Yeah.
something crazy. I was so broke at the time. They had this hustle going on in Nashville where these companies had these remake paintings of like Starry Night and shit, and you'd go door to door to businesses to sell
To
them.
sell them. Yeah.
And that's what I was fucking doing, like at the time. And
Even after the height of street flavor.
everything, I'm out
$30
here
million
door to door trying to sell fucking pieces of artwork.
What's
to
the
make.
fucking mental like at this moment?
It was horrible.
Because I lost $145,000, right?
Yeah.
Fucking down the drain.
Not
and-
millions,
and-
not millions.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
No,
because
yeah.
$145,000 to a kid like me at this time when I was a kid, I lost it so fucking fast. Where my mental, I was like, oh shit.
Imagine that all the time because that's the music business. Like it's
Yeah.
you know like up down up down.
Yeah.
So then you back up here.
Yeah, so I'm back up here. I have nothing, but I'm like, you know what? I got to figure something out. I'm going to try to make some calls. And at the time, early on, when I would go up to New York and I try to sell these projects, I'd go see A&R reps like at Jive and MCA.
Yeah.
So I did make some friends. Like people knew
Yeah.
kind of a little bit who. One of them was this guy named Rick Wake. Rick Wake produced Someday for Mariah Carey.
Okay.
All these big hits, you know, Celine Dion, but Celine
Oh,
Dion came
okay.
later.
Yeah.
But his big claim to fame was Mariah Carey. He's the one who founded her, did all the big hits, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, well, let me call Rick and just,
Yeah.
you know, I tried to sell Rick some shit. He didn't want it. But, so I call him up and he was super excited to hear from me, you know, and I just played it off like that's just what it was.
Yeah.
He said, man, I'm so glad you called me. He's like, I started a label. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, I'm with A&M in New York. So it's so weird that you called me. He's like, you want to come work for me? And I was like, yeah. Like, I mean,
hell yeah.
I mean, let me see. Let me check my
Talk to
schedule.
the wifey. I always say
And
that.
like,
Like, go to like that.
he paid to get me an apartment in New Jersey. He paid to move me. He paid to bring me up, all this stuff. And I'm with the same girl. So I take her with me. And now I'm a VP at one of the biggest labels in the country.
Most definitely.
In New York, just because he remembered the kid who kind of was like, had a little A&R hustle about me. And I put artwork together pretty good and I was able to so I, you know what I mean? So he's like, he thought I was kind of like a little boy wonder kind of thing. And he wanted to do rap music at the label at the time. And there was nothing going on. So he thought he was going to use me to do that. And we started getting going. We had like a couple #1 dance records and stuff. And, but I was with this girl and she kept wanting to go home.
With back to
Nashville and all this stuff, and I quit my fucking job.
You're a pussy, man. Why you
the
always gotta sell out the pussy, Sony?
And I won't say it was 100%
sell out
her,
for the
because still it really wasn't 100. She just kind of gave me the nudge.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it was really me still thinking that I want to be Rick. I want to be running the label. I want to be Russell Simmons.
Yeah.
I'm so mad still about Street Flavor.
Yeah. You lost your baby. Like, that was my baby. I built my baby up.
I had a good enough salary in New York where I could put a little money together and go back to Nashville.
Exactly.
And that's what I did. Rick was pissed.
That's smart, though.
Yeah.
To me, I think that because at times we don't know how to play number 2.
Yeah.
To get back to number 1.
You're right.
So what you did was you're like, okay, I took this job. Because Russell Simmons is your inspiration at this time.
The hustle of him, what he did, and how that's
like you want to be number 1. Like I'm the CEO. I'm not the A&R guy, right?
He was the first label guy that I knew of.
Got your money a little bit.
Came down to Nashville, and when I did, I pulled into Nashville. I had a U-Haul truck, and the first place I stopped was Dollar General, because Kevin was working there. And I walked into Dollar General. I said, "Come on, fucking go." And he was so happy that I pulled him out of Dollar General.
This is a fucking movie.
You put the band back together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is a movie, man.
So, and I rented a little shitty office, and we had a keyboard and a drum machine, and that was it. And there was a rapper at the time. I don't even know where he ended up being, but his name was Crooked IQ.
Oh, I remember Crooked IQ. Yeah.
And what do you?
And we liked it. And you know what? We liked it, Crooked.
Hold on, Leno. And hold on, Sonny. You're not gonna play Crooked IQ like he was just some rapper or somebody. We fuck with Crooked IQ in this city.
Hardcore fans did, because he never got to reach. But Crooked never got to reach that.
His voice was so awesome, and he was a good rapper. And I was like, this kid could get me back in the game. Yeah. And then it fell apart. It was
because he only dropped like one album.
Yeah, I did one album with him. I wish I had it.
And then we didn't. I didn't see him no more.
That used to hang around with him that stole our keyboard and some other shit. And I was just like, "Fuck this! Here I am.
Niggas steal every day."
Yeah.
So then,
crazy, bro.
So I also in New Jersey, I had a good friend of ours who did house music. His name was Mike.
Okay.
And he had big hits, house music, a diva. He had this record called Stomp and whatever. So he was getting rid of all studio equipment in New Jersey. He's like, if you come get this, you can take the console. The speakers.
You lucky, man. You be getting lucky.
I was like, and I'll give you 5,000 vinyl records that I have in the thing. You can come take it all. So what I do, I get the U-Haul truck. I go get this big ass board and all these records and shit like that and speakers. And that got me like, now I'm like, where am I going to put it?
It got you back in.
Yeah. So like, where am I going to put all this shit? Yeah. So I rented a house in Englewood, right there across from Sonic on Gallatin Road, right across from Englewood Baptist Church.
Oh yeah, those little
So it was right on the corner. That house right on the corner.
Yeah,
it had a parking lot in the back, and it was a dentist's office or some shit.
It still is to this day. It still is to this day.
I lived there, and I put the studio and stuff in the back because it had a hallway right down the middle. So I put a window on this side and a window on this side. I had an engineering room and vocal booth. You looked across the hall.
That's crazy.
So that's
we used to pass this so many times.
So and then I'm thinking to myself, well, I got to do something. So I called up Pistol, called up Boogie, and I called up Papa J, and I did Back with a Vengeance, the album. And that was me saying like,
I'm
back. And they were gracious enough. Pistol and that. I mean,
what year is this?
This is 97.
Okay.
So Cool Daddy Fresh is coming. Cool Daddy Fresh is about to come now.
Right. Cool Daddy Fresh is going to come after this with The Whole Truth So Help Me. So that kind of got me back a little bit. And that record was pretty good just from name recognition in Nashville.
Yeah, most definitely.
Street Flavor. And I had this studio. And so then I'm trying to think maybe through Selected Hits. I can't remember how Fresh reconnected. But I was like, okay, Fresh's got a name. Everybody knows who Fresh is. Let's do a project with him. Let's put it out. I think this is before he went to Lee at New Life because he put out a bunch of stuff with Lee.
Yeah, he did.
Because
HAYSTAK is not.
I'm not sure if it was right after Lee. I think it might have been after Lee. I think him and Lee separated and whatever, and he did a project. And, but the record didn't do anything.
Yeah,
I gave him an advance. I gave him $5,000, and I lost money on the project.
That's another thing I like about Sonny.
Well, he give you advance.
Sonny gonna give you some money.
Yeah, and regardless of what they remember, I didn't make a dime. I lost money on the project, not because Fresh wasn't good, not because of whatever. It's just whatever the reasons are, it wasn't because I did anything.
It wasn't something that you had.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I had it in there, all the stores again. I gave them in advance. It just didn't perform the way it should.
So when you came back to Nashville, you basically just reuse all your resources back.
Right, basically. And you know, at the time, I had some other rappers around, Mika B, some other people.
I didn't know that.
Stop playing me. You better stop playing me.
I didn't know that Mika B was signed to Street Flavor.
She was.
Okay.
We were getting in the process of doing projects that never came to be.
But did y'all sign, like, officially paperwork was signed? Okay.
That's dope.
So, but it never, you know, I couldn't do everything.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had to kind of pick my battles, because if I didn't.
What was your team at, Sonny?
It was nobody. It was me and Kevin.
Yeah.
I didn't have a team. Nobody.
No more Dev?
No, Deb was there. Deb and Kevin, same person.
Okay, yeah.
Dev and Kevin the same person.
I call him Kev. I never really called him Deb.
Yeah.
And the reason I said that, and I'm sorry, I want to say this for the audience, because the reason I say that is because I know when I called that number, it was Sonny and Kev.
Right, yep.
But I always heard
Kevin,
Dev.
DJ, Dev Grisham.
Yeah, I've always heard Dev, but
Yeah.
I knew it was Sonny and Kev.
Yeah.
All right.
So, where was I with that? Yeah.
Well, so Mika B,
I was
right?
trying, you know, and my big thing too was I had Rude Awakening, and this is before Eminem. This is before all that stuff.
I say that all the time.
The only white rappers that I was really, you know, Third Base.
Yeah, MC Serge.
You know, Vanilla Ice. You know,
Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
Which it wasn't a lot. Like, I get what you're saying. It wasn't a lot.
The concept of doing white rappers wasn't something that really, it was almost kind of corny in a way. Like, people didn't really look on it very good. You know, this is before Eminem or anything. So I get a call one day. I'm sitting at my desk, and I answer the phone, and he goes, "Son Dog." I'm like,
HAYSTAK.
I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, I'm like, "Who's this?" He said, "It's J Dog," because that's what he went by at the time.
Okay, yeah.
J-Dog
Yeah,
is
J-Dog.
crazy.
So I was like, and I knew him through Rude Awakening.
Through Rude
and I
Awakening,
had
because he
been
had come around him, yeah.
And it's not that Stack, it's not that I didn't like you, but at the time I was young, dude. So and I was just like, "What's up, man?" You know, like, it's one of those
Like
kind
another
of
rapper probably.
almost just like, you know, what's up, you know. And he's like, "You know, I got some new music and all this other stuff, and I want to play it for you." And I was like, "You know, I'm not really looking to sign any white rappers. I'm playing." That's what I'm basically saying to him. And he said, "Yeah, but check this out. I changed my name." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "HAYSTAK, without the C." And I was like,
Without the C.
"Well, when can you come down?" Like, immediately.
Because boom.
Mentally, this whole vision of a rapper, HAYSTAK.
Yeah.
I knew how tall he was. I knew what he looked like. I knew he was country as shit. You know, and I knew HAYSTAK Calhoun, the rapper, but it was different. The no C, just HAYSTAK alone. And mentally now, this whole vision of something you could sell just popped in my brain. And he came down. This is when Eric was getting in trouble. So he needed a home. He needed a place to go. And he had a couple of demos of some stuff. And I thought it was really dope. And basically, Eric was going to jail. Eric was like, "Yeah, you take it. I can't do nothing with it. I'm out of here." And I promised Eric that this is how Eric came around. When he left, I said, "Cool." I said, "I appreciate it. You don't really have to just let your rapper go. When you get out, I'll make sure that you have a place to go."
Yeah.
So
that's dope.
5 years later, I kept my promise, even though a lot of people didn't want me to do it. I'm not going to mention names. I said I told him I would, and I'm going to do it.
You stuck to your word, even though
he came out.
And people was telling you, "Man, fuck yeah."
Yeah, fuck yeah.
He been locked up.
I want to ask you this, right? HAYSTAK comes.
HAYSTAK comes. That's right. So, and he comes, he plays these songs, I think. And that night, I rented a studio in Berry Hill, but a much nicer one that I was working with. Need me to cut it?
No, keep going.
And we cut the first song there. And then right after that, we started cutting the 360, the HAYSTAK first album. And, you know, and that was that. I mean, we went in there and he started rapping to me on the porch, looking at Gallatin Road, cars going by. And I was like, I just hear this train.
Yeah.
All this Hannah, maybe go banana. And then I went in there and made the beat, and that was that. You know, his history.
So,
with
man,
him.
what's your relationship like now with HAYSTAK?
It's good. I mean, Stack's not where I'd want him to be. And I feel like Stack was always the most talented of everybody that I fucked with.
I was about to ask you that.
As far as a lyricist and a pure rapper, I at one time you couldn't have told me he wasn't one of the greatest rappers ever.
Real rapper.
In my mind. And you know, I feel like there's a lot of guys that kind of jumped ahead, you know, Jelly and stuff like that. I really feel like Stack
I feel he paid the way for this.
100%.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a Jelly Roll, a Big Smoke if it wasn't.
If it wasn't for Rude Awakening, there wouldn't have been Stack, and if it wasn't Stack, there wouldn't have been Jelly. If there wasn't, if it, I try to say this about Street Flavor too, and it's hard to talk about yourself because you don't want to sound like you're boasting about it. But there's a famous quote where John Lennon had said, "Before Elvis, there was nothing." That didn't mean there was literally nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
It meant that Elvis was the biggest thing to ever
the biggest
happen
impact
in music ever at the time. And I feel like it's the same thing with Street Flavor.
You think you was the biggest thing ever in Nashville music?
Before Street Flavor,
I agree with you on that.
Before Street Flavor, there was nothing.
No, don't say that.
I do agree with you on that.
Before Street Flavor, there was nothing happening.
No, but I want to have this conversation with you, Lano.
Yeah.
Hold on, Sonny. No, we can have it, bro. We don't have to get emotional or nothing. We just had a conversation.
Not that there wasn't rappers.
I'm not gonna say Street Flavor is the biggest record label ever when it comes to Nashville hip hop.
I am.
I'm not. You're not gonna do Bottom Boy like that.
No, Bottom Boy was a very Bottom Boy was a very highly influenced. Bottom Boy kicked off with Quanti Cash, but I'm saying the different type of artists, and he had 2 major label deals
before Bottom Boy.
Let me tell you something. He had Pistol. He had Boogie. Right? Listen, he also is naming other key artists that we know. From the Mika B, one of the first female rappers, HAYSTAK.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying the size of anything.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is prior to Street Flavor, there was
nothing. The first. I'll give you first, right?
For sure.
And hold on a second. Right. And you're talking about 34 years of Nashville classic music.
Yes.
I'm not talking about Quanti Cash and Bottom Boy.
Yeah, because that's huge record label.
34 years of consistent music. And there's been moments where things weren't happening, but you got to remember, I put out Pistol 11 years before Buck.
Yeah, because you just I want to get to something.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Buck was obviously clearly the biggest artist to ever come out of Nashville prior to Jelly now.
Yeah, part of Jelly now.
But it's what I say that is like, and you can't even say that things wouldn't have happened without Street Flavor. But because I didn't give anybody their talent, God did. But the positions I feel like Street Flavor put people in,
most definitely,
set a domino effect, in my opinion, that would not have happened if it wasn't for Street Flavor. And I feel like Street Flavor also made people believe it could be done.
Yes, that's what I mean.
I like you saying that, Sonny, because, and I have to say this, bro, because what you did for me, like it gave me hope. It inspired me because and I'm not even a rapper, but every rapper that's my age of 40 or under or over 40, they always tell you how I opened that CD book or that cassette pamphlet and I called that number.
Yeah.
You were the only record label, bro, I ever called. Sonny.
And again, like when I talk about it, it's not like, I can't talk about other people. Their history is their history. All I'm talking about is mine. And I feel like, there's not a more important, that's maybe a better word, label to ever come out of hip hop in Nashville than Street Flavor.
I love it.
As far as importance goes.
Yes.
Because I feel like it doesn't matter who came after. I feel like we showed them that it was possible. And I also think we showed them how to do it. I also think we were the first one to have distribution.
I'm with you.
We were the first ones to be in stores. So everybody kind of been like, okay, now I see I can do this too. And then everybody went to Selected Hits. Everybody went and got
I totally agree with you on that because a lot of artists, like, it's the same way what you just said, like Michael Jordan, but we wouldn't have him if it wasn't for Wilt. You are one of the, for me, right? I look at Street Flavor as a dominant record label because I love music. So I always ask, okay, who was before Street Flavor? Nobody, right? It always goes back to nobody. Okay, I want to ask you this, right?
And even still, though, too, as a label, that was out of Nashville till just recently. I mean, it's still back and forth, but is there another label still that's consistently
that's consistent? No.
I don't think there is.
No, it's not.
There's people that are doing
telling
stuff.
You no.
There's people that are doing stuff.
Yeah,
but do they have artists that aren't themselves?
Yeah.
Are they, you know what I'm saying? Like,
if I think about it,
an artist that calls himself a label because now you're able to put out your own music. Yeah. But I'm talking about, is there a label?
Street Flavor has put out the most successful artists.
Is there a rap label in Nashville right now signing artists and releasing artists that aren't them?
No.
Maybe Grindhard, but we'll get back to that. We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Grindhard, but we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
So we talked about the past tense, right?
Yeah.
I want to know about Sonny now. It's 2025.
Spin that.
Let's talk about
so we're jumping
Street
now.
Flavor.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We get Stack. It's his deals. We're moving past all that.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of have to. Yeah,
so we love
time,
Stack.
Sonny.
Yeah, we love
4 hours, Sonny. We ran out of time, brother.
Past him. Okay. Yeah. Now what?
Spin that.
I mean, 2025, bro. What is Street Flavor? Is Street Flavor still a thing?
Street Flavor still a thing. I'm doing basically what I wanted to do when I decided, okay. And it was really just really recently that I was like, I want to really dive back into the record side. Mm-hmm. So with Charlie's help and some other people and stuff, we're trying to find deals, like stuff we can buy into.
Okay.
You know, not saying, oh, you're on Street Flavor. Let's just do some Street Flavor collabs. Let's buy into some projects. Let's buy some percentages. Let's help some people. Let's throw some money around. Let's try to make some deals. And that's what we've been doing.
That's how you just did with Young Buck.
Yeah, with Buck and with, you know, we did a Bizarre deal with, and we had a couple
Yep,
singles.
Bizarre. I saw that. I saw Bizarre from Beats. Yeah. I saw that.
But I do want to, fuck, man. I know, Cruz. We finna wrap it up. But I do want to know about.
I'll have to come back for the
Absolutely, we definitely got to do a part 2. But I do want to know about that book because, like me, I don't know. Lano's probably not thinking about it.
Yeah,
the audience probably not thinking about it. But I want to know, how does that work? Buck releases a project. You come around on the back end and say,
well, it's
hey,
actually something we decided to
let's go
do together.
Yeah.
But he released it first, though, right?
No, we released it
under Spin Day.
Okay.
Well, Street Flavor.
Street Flavor.
It's his project that I bought into that we released together.
I mean,
so it's a cash flow record.
How do you benefit from that?
Well, when it sells, we'll make some money together.
I mean, but
it's doing pretty good.
My bad.
You use your resources and put it in more stores.
And that's what I wanted to ask. What do you bring to the table?
A team.
Yeah.
You know, just a way to back and get behind some cool projects.
That's dope.
You know, and just you know, all these artists. I always say, you know, Buck's a big artist, you know, and it's only one great project away from being the biggest he's ever been.
Fuck.
It only takes one record. It only takes one thing, you know. So that's how I feel about Buck.
That's how we all feel about Buck. It's one record to get him right back where he needs to be. So, we always listen to a record now that Buck got that we be like, shit, this is a huge thing. I can't remember. That's why I kept going. So I'm gonna ask you this right quick.
So that project, I did the Bizarre thing. We had a couple cool singles. One would Be Real, one with Cassidy. It was kind of cool. And you know, and just that's another thing of just getting behind some people to do some cool records.
Who you got your? I mean, if you want to talk about it,
Bubba Sparks, that's banging.
The Bubba Sparks. Shout out to Bubba because Bubba Sparks hit me up because of you.
That's crazy. So you just put a little money behind it, use your resources, put it here, put it there, put it there, put it there.
Yeah, because to me, I feel like I'm making out because I'm getting to be involved with legends.
But this back your thing too. This is your thing right here. I want to ask you one thing, right? I gotta ask you this. Who you have your eye on? Is it a couple of artists? Because people going to see this, right? They know how much you mean to us in Nashville. Yeah. And they know that a lot of people, like I said, I never really heard any bad things about you, right? Yeah. Artists is going to reach out to you, which I know they do now, right? Is it any specific artists that you gotta?
I don't have a lot of people reaching out to me really directly. I sit on the internet all the time, or I'll hit people up. Black Wizzle, I think he's a great artist. You know, there's a few people, but I'm trying to find it. I'm really trying to find people that I can align with and get with and do projects. And it's like, it's a different world now. You can do stuff with people and not feel like it's the end of the world or you got to be tied to the long You can just do shit. Like,
you can get in and get out, right?
I like this shit.
I'm going to tell you what I like what he said, though. You don't have to sign people to 5 album deals.
No. Yeah.
I can just say, hey, Lano, I like this. I like the 3 songs you put out. Let me put some money behind them.
If we can just catch some magic and put out a single.
Yeah.
Let's do a video. And all I really have to offer is just like you said, some resources, back with a little
But that's
money.
a lot though.
Yeah, let's see, you know, some ad buys.
Yeah,
let's,
that's a lot.
Let's up the video game just a touch, or
Yeah.
you know, that's really all guys like me can do these days. You know, and the production side.
Yeah, but don't.
I
Yeah,
can
that's a
still
lot.
make good
But that's a
records.
lot, though, Sonny. That's
Yeah.
a lot. That's a lot that you can offer. When you offering things like that, you're giving the artist time to go in and just be creative.
Yeah.
Instead of got to worry about, because everybody don't want to be a
It's the
label
team.
owner.
It's the team.
Yeah.
Like
Bro,
some artists that we do get and sit down with us.
Yeah.
They my mind frame is always, you want to be a CEO, you want to be a boss. They'd be like,
And I
no,
can
I just
care
want to go and
less.
rap.
And I can
Yeah.
care less if anybody even knows I'm involved or not. I just want to see them do good. Like, I
Man,
just wanna,
good
like,
shit, man. Listen.
Yeah.
Man,
So-
Sonny, this shit right here is dope,
I
brother.
love what you talking about. This
What-
your camera.
We're definitely gonna have to do a fucking.
We gotta do
part
because we
two.
missed. I only got to
so
like
much,
not
bro.
Even halfway.
But you gotta understand, son. You got enough. You got enough for your story where we can sit down for 30 days.
Yeah.
And you probably won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But Spin Dat real quick. Can I talk about that
Yeah,
real quick?
Phil, just real quick.
Spin Dat, basically, I've been working on this concept since 1999.
Oh,
And it really came to light with the streaming era and the fact that look, man, everybody's broke. I don't know what they're telling you when they come to everybody. When I say they're broke, they're not making any money. Streaming is killing everything. Subscription based system. So you know, and Charlie has been with me from the beginning of this process of developing Spin Dat. So it's like I want to bring value back to the music industry again. I want to get artists paid. If the content creator can't make money, there's no content. You might as well just do all AI, just give up.
Fact.
So we created a platform, SpinDat, SPNDAT, that pays artists 7 cents a play. It has a social media network attached to it. You can upload your music videos, your music. It also has a component that allows fans to have ownership in your streaming with you. So they can buy into your projects, and it goes right into the wallet. It's attached to token. It all works together. It's a super great
you
system.
putting money back in artists' pockets.
That's right.
I have to ask you this though, Sonny. How
So-
much does it cost the artist?
Nothing. They're in 100% in control of it.
Okay.
It's all
That's
theirs.
dope.
It's free to download.
Street Flavor / Spin It.
Yeah, and I'm using Street Flavor to help bring good content onto the app.
Yeah.
and give that a starting point. But Spin Dat, you get 100,000 plays on our platform, you make $7,000. You know what I'm saying?
that's
like,
dope.
you know what I mean? So, and it's very direct. You don't have to jump around from platform to platform. And the artist gets all the money right into their wallet. They get paid as soon as someone hits play. It goes right into your wallet.
We're gonna put our podcast on there.
Got to. You might as well
Would it
because
work?
yeah, because every time someone hits play on that podcast, it goes
Oh,
right
I
into.
didn't even think of that. We're
there's
gonna talk to you off camera on
yeah,
that.
There's no ads. There's no algorithm. There's no people getting blasted with shit they don't want to see.
Yeah.
I get to be like, yeah, man, I fuck with Street Flavor Spin That.
He
For
robbed
sure.
us.
Yeah.
Hell nah.
I wanted that to be known because that's a passion legacy thing for me.
No, that's dope.
I would love to be the guy to I don't want to say save the game, but really that's where it's going.
At least, we're not
Save
saving
it
the
in a
game, but I
money
get what
way.
you're saying, though.
Bring
Yeah.
value back to it again because everybody's getting content for free. So
For sure.
And if the artist doesn't give it value, no one else will.
Man,
So the
good
artist,
shit,
you know,
Sonny.
So
Good
fucking
shit.
dope.
Listen,
Sonny, real quick, Leno,
appreciate
just Sonny, tell the people how they can find you, support everything you got going on, and follow you on social media, brother.
Streetflavor.com, Sonny on Instagram, Sonny Paradise. It's pretty much the best ways to get me and find out what I'm doing.
There you go.
You know,
man.
Spin Dat, of course. If you want to
legend,
talk
Leno.
to me,
yeah.
start a profile on Spin Dat and send me a message.
Yeah, you gotta start a profile on Spin That. I like that. So before we go, I got with my camera right here. So before we go, listen, I'm gonna let everybody know. Today was one of those days where I felt like a kid again.
Fucking fire.
We had the legend. We had somebody who, like I said in the beginning, paved a way for hip hop. Right,
raised us,
artists. I know you listening. I know you watching. Let me tell you something. Go to Spin Dat. This man telling you that you can get. Listen, it's bringing money and putting money in your pocket as a artist. This is something that we all want. This is something that we all dream of. You heard him say, hey, right now the game is kind of.
Hit or
So
miss.
what you need to do right now is understand what he's saying. dig more into it, Google it, call him. He said you can even talk to him directly if you want to do it, right?
Only on Spin That, though.
Only
you
on
better get your
Spin
ass on Spin That.
But
Don't call his phone number.
Yeah, but most definitely, great conversation.
Yes,
He
yes,
tell you
great.
about hard work. He telling you about starting over. He also talks about the game fluctuates. He even packed up, left, but something made him come back. Even told you about a job that was a way bigger record company, but you know what? He just kept getting called back to do the things that he loved.
Facts.
So that means don't give up. It's going to be a part 2 coming. Y'all already got to know that, man. Listen, we did a wonderful interview today. Love you, man. I'm going to end this with this. 2 things. Get money, stay true. Stay true, get money.
And listen, family, if nobody told you today that they love you, let me be the very, very first person to tell you that I love you. I love you.
And thank you guys for letting me do this because I needed to do it. I needed to get that story started. So
Oh, man. Listen,
it.
this is a hell of a story.
Man,
Documentary on the way, right?
Documentary on the way.
Part
Documentary on the
2
way.
coming soon, man. And
Yes.
documentary filmmakers, you can use this content.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Peace.